Hi everyone, I am Masood Saeed, your news narrator for 17 July 2024. Bangladesh, from June 2024, a nation synonymous with resilience, finds itself grappling with widespread protests. From bustling city streets to university campuses, a wave of discontent has swept across the country. These protests reflect deep-seated grievances and growing frustration with the status quo. Students, political activists, minority groups, and religious organizations have all taken to the streets, each with their own set of demands. The government's heavy-handed response has only served to further inflame tensions. The world watches as Bangladesh teeters on the brink of uncertainty, yearning for a more just and equitable society. One key trigger for the ongoing protests is the contentious quota system in government jobs. Initially designed to uplift marginalized communities, it has become a source of immense frustration among students.
The quota system is inherently unfair, reserving jobs based on lineage rather than merit.
The protests represent a larger struggle for equal opportunity in a society grappling with unemployment. The government's defense of the quota system has failed to resonate with the protesting students' views, a symbol of systemic inequality, barrier to the aspirations. Demands for a merit-based system reflect a desire for a more equitable society. Adding fuel to the unrest are the political demands of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, BNP. The BNP, led by former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia, has long been at odds with the ruling Awami League.
We criticize the government for authoritarianism, corruption, and stifling dissent.
The BNP's calls for democracy resonate with a segment of the population disillusioned with the current political climate. The government has accused the BNP of inciting violence and responded with force. The political standoff has further polarized Bangladeshi society, making it challenging to address the underlying issues. Amidst the turmoil, the voices of Bangladesh's marginalized communities, particularly the Hindu minority, have risen in protests. These communities demand an end to discrimination, protection from violence, and equal rights. One prominent group is the Harijan community, a Dalit group facing social and economic exclusion. The Harijans demand an end to land grabbing, discrimination in employment and education, and violence against their community. Their protests highlight the urgent need to address systemic inequalities faced by minority groups. The government's response has been mixed, with some efforts to address concerns, but progress remains slow. The plight of minority communities underscores the need for a just and equitable society for all citizens. Adding complexity to the protests are the demands of the Islami Andolan Bangladesh, IAB, an Islamist political party. The IAB advocates for a greater role of Islam in public life and has criticized the government's secular policies. The party demands the implementation of Sharia law and a ban on UN Islamic activities. The IAB's demands resonate with a segment of the population, particularly in rural areas. The government's response has raised concerns about the erosion of secular values. The IAB's rise has sparked counter-protests from secular groups fearing the erosion of Bangladesh's secular identity. The government's handling of the IAB's demands will be crucial in determining the future direction of Bangladesh's socio-political landscape. At the heart of these protests lies a complex interplay of factors. Students, political activists, minority groups, and religious organizations have all taken to the streets with their own demands. The government's heavy-handed response has further inflamed tensions. The world watches as Bangladesh, on the cusp of economic progress, teeters on the brink of uncertainty. The protests, diverse in origins and demands, are united by a yearning for a more just and equitable Bangladesh. The government's ability to address these grievances will be crucial in determining the nation's trajectory. Do not forget to tap on the like, subscribe, and share buttons. Also leave a comment.